morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. We begin this morning's reflection by reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verses 22 and 23. The light of the body is the eye. So then, if your eye is generous, the whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is grudging, your whole body will be in the dark. If then the light which is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? The eye is regarded as the window by which the light gets into the whole body. The state of the window decides what light gets into the room. If the window is clear, clean, and undistorted, the light will come flooding into the room and will illuminate every corner of it. If the glass of the window is coloured or frosted, distorted, dirty, or obscure, the light will be hindered and the room will not be lit. The amount of light which gets into any room depends on the state of the window through which it has to pass. So then, says Jesus, the light which gets into any man's heart and soul and being depends on the spiritual state of the eye through which it has to pass. For the eye is the window for the whole body. The view we take of people depends on the nature of the eye we have. There are certain obvious things which can blind our eyes and distort our vision. One of them is prejudice. There is nothing which so destroys a person's judgment as prejudice does. It prevents us from forming the clear, reasonable and logical judgment which it is the duty of everyone to form. It blinds us alike to the facts and to the significance of the facts. Almost all new discoveries have had to fight their way against unreasonable prejudice. When Sir James Simpson discovered the virtues of chloroform, he had to fight against the prejudice of the medical and religious world of his day. And one of his biographers wrote, "Prejudice, the crippling determination to walk only in time-worn paths and to eschew new ways, rose up against it, and they did their best to smother this new-found blessing." One of the most necessary things in life is the fearless self-examination, which will enable us to see when we are acting by principle and when we are the victims of our own unreasonable and unreasoning prejudices. In any person who is swayed by prejudice, the eye is darkened and the vision is distorted. Jealousy can also distort our vision. Shakespeare gave us a classic example of that in the tragedy of Othello. Othello, the Moor, won fame by his heroic exploits, and he married Desdemona, who loved him with utter devotion and complete fidelity. As the general of the army of Venice, Othello promoted Cassio and passed over Iago. Iago, a horrible little man, was consumed with jealousy. By careful plotting and manipulating the facts, Iago sowed in Othello's mind the suspicion that Cassio and Desdemona were carrying on an intrigue. He manufactured evidence to prove it, and moved Othello to such a passion of jealousy that he finally murdered Desdemona by smothering her with a pillow. A.C. Bradley writes, "Such jealousy as Othello's converts human nature into chaos and liberates the beast in a person." Many a marriage and many a friendship have been wrecked on the rock of jealousy, which distorted perfectly innocent incidents into guilty actions and which blinded the eye to truth and fact. Self-conceit can also distort our vision. In her biography of Mark Rutherford, Catherine MacDonald MacLean has a curiously caustic sentence about John Chapman, the bookseller and publisher, who was at one time Mark Rutherford's employer. Handsome in a Byronic fashion and pleasant-mannered, he was exceedingly attractive to women, and he thought himself even more attractive to them than he actually was. Self-conceit doubly affects a man's vision, for it renders him incapable of seeing himself as he really is, and incapable of seeing others as they really are. If someone is convinced of their own surpassing wisdom, they will never be able to realize their own foolishness. They will never be aware of their own faults. Whenever someone compares themselves with others, they will do so to their own advantage and to the other's disadvantage. They will be forever incapable of self-criticism, therefore forever incapable of self-improvement. The light in which they should see themselves and see others will be in darkness. And so today, let us consider the nature of our eyes. Have we, through our spiritual practices, regularly cleaned our vision so that we can see without prejudice, without jealousy, and without self-conceit? And if we can't see without those things, at least let us be able to notice when the windows of our souls are dirty, and when we are looking through obscured glass, and when our vision of what's happening around us is in fact distorted. But may we always come to Christ and pray that our vision be clear and whole and loving. Amen.